Hello everyone, it's me, Juan Gamer54 again video. Today, we're gonna be reacting to Game Theory and their theory about GTA 6. Woo boy, GTA 6. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already know that GTA 6 got delayed, and I'm gonna be honest, I have my 2 cents about this, but you know what? We're not gonna open the video with complaints, alright? We will get to that when we get into that. But for now, we're going to be doing a reaction video and figure out what's new. Like, what is Game Theory going to be going to be predicting about GTA 6? Only one way to find out. So relax, sit back, get your snacks, and let's go.
Right about GTA 6. We were also wrong about GTA 6. But
Ah,
now, thanks to this new trailer, we not only understand what is going to happen in the 30 plus hour story, we also
dang.
know why it's happening.
30 hours. Dang.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory. And can you believe it? We got another GTA 6 theory before GTA 6.
Dang.
Crazy times. But I guess that's what happens when you delay your game until 2026. However,
Mm-hmm. Crazy thing is that to be honest, that's crazy. Why did you delay it, to be honest? Because you legitimately have like a whole decade. You could have had it done. And then when you gave us a trailer, you gave us the second trailer, it looks like game was finished. So why is it delayed? But you know what? I'm not going to go crazy on it. And also, it's crazy that it's going to be released 2 days before my birthday. So legitimately, I'm going to be able to play GTA 6 during the week of my birthday. Well, next year. But you get what I mean. That's exciting.
not all is lost, loyal theorists, because in what feels like a make good, Rockstar released a brand new trailer for the game. Once again, it looks gorgeous. Once
Yes.
again, the music is on point, and once again, it's chock full of sweet, juicy lore. That's right, just like the first trailer, this new video is trying desperately to tell us what the new story is going to be about.
All right.
I don't mean the story that the website is telling us is going to happen. I mean the true story, the twists and turns that are going to happen along the way. And
Okay.
it's all hiding in plain sight, from the obvious dialogue shown to the not so obvious symbolism hiding in every song, shirt, and tattoo. And
Okay.
from the looks of it, we may have been right with our previous prediction. We also may have been wrong about a few things too. But ultimately, the big reveal of this trailer isn't about the what of this game's twist, it's the why. So hop in,
Okay.
friends. We've got a trailer to decipher. Let's start with what's new in this trailer. The main thing I noticed this time around is while we're still focusing a lot on our lead characters, Lucia and Jason, we're also getting a lot more focus on the actual world of Vice City is GTA's version of Miami. But if my accent didn't give it away, I'm not American, and based on our recent charity stream, clearly I've still got a lot to learn about this country's culture and references.
Dang.
In 1961, the U.S. had a major military flop. What was it called? And where was it?
Tom's answer was Civil War II Electric Boogaloo. And so, in order to fully understand what I was looking at, I had to swallow my pride and ask our resident Miamian, Santi. No, you're not getting it.
Dang.
Right. You already interrupted me last week, as you may have expected.
Dang, the beef is still going.
This jersey that is a play off the Miami Dolphins, now being the Vice City Manatees. There's more parody beer brands than you can shake a stick at, and there's this strip club called the 919, which Santi tells me is a play off the Miami strip club 11. You know, not that he's ever been there to know firsthand, obviously. But
So you say. I'm sure he's not, but
okay. Stuff is the stuff that looks like an Easter egg, but actually means a heck of a lot more. Like at 232, where we get this shot that appears to be showing us the Venetian Islands. However, we also see an area that looks a lot like Key Largo and the Everglades, which geographically aren't really connected at all. It would take you over an hour to get from one to the other. Now,
Dang.
obviously, this is likely due to map constraints. While we expect GTA 6 to be massive, it can't be a
Oh, come on. Oh. All right, we back.
GTA 6 to be massive, it can't be a one-to-one replica of Miami. Could you imagine having to drive an hour every time you got a mission on the other side of the map? I hate driving an hour anywhere in real life. I don't need it in my video game games too. However, this change not only affects the
Yeah, but at
gameplay,
least
it also has
you can, I don't know, walk up to one person who has a nice looking fast car, hijack them, and just drive off. Yeah, you still need to chase. You gotta like get away from the cops from stealing. But hey, man, it's still fast. Hey, man, I'm saying what people usually do in GTA 5. Okay, come on.
See, the Venetian Islands are considered to be a very upscale area, whereas the Everglades are considered to be, less so. By putting these
Dang.
areas closer together, we're getting a sense of the journey our heroes are trying to go on. At the very start of the trailer, we see Jason's house in what appears to be the more Evergladey location, and that his roof has a leak. They are starting at rock bottom, but as Lucia says later on,
This place is just the start for us.
their goal is to cross that threshold and rise to the
Get
top,
rich.
once seen as the lower class of society mingling with the upper crust. We even see this goal in the type of heists they're doing. In the first trailer, they were just stealing from convenience stores in more rundown areas. But
Yeah.
in this trailer, we're seeing a full-on bank heist. They're constantly going to be
Heck, I could have sworn I see
bigger
some
and
FBI
better,
agents.
rising up in order to have the life they've always wanted. Much earlier in the trailer, we also saw this showing off a bunch of impressive-looking artwork, but it
Yeah.
also stood out as odd. Reason being, this isn't just any symbol. This is the symbol of the Haitian flag, and it's accompanied by real Haitian Creole phrases like "flag on high" for native land, which comes from the Haitian national anthem. That
Okay.
is odd to see because, as we discussed, Rockstar purposefully changes the names and iconography of locations to be similar but distinctly different from the real world.
Yeah.
For this one, they left it the same. To me, that implies there's something important about using the real world place for the world they're trying to build. This type of artwork is not uncommon to see in Miami, especially in the area known as Little Haiti. This area came about when there was a mass wave of Haitian immigrants coming to Miami in the 1970s. This
Okay.
transformed the area into a vibrant cultural hub. But sadly, it's also become an area of lower socioeconomic status, leading
Dang.
to a lot of tensions in recent years. Areas around Little Haiti have slowly been gentrified, with wealthy people and businesses moving in and developing the area, leading to costs going up and the loss of cultural diversity. Little Haiti currently stands as one of the last bastions against this. Hence the bold sense of national pride we're seeing painted on the walls here. It's about not forgetting who you are and where you come from, and not backing down when your dreams or way of life are being threatened. Something that the GTA 6 website makes clear is of huge importance to Lucia. This disparity in socioeconomic status and gentrification has also sadly outworked itself as tension between the Haitians living there and the police force. This is something you might just expect from GTA at this point, similar
Yeah.
to what we covered in our GTA 5 video years ago. But I
Dang.
do think it's going to play a part in the story going forward as well. Once again, according to Santi, who, if you didn't know, is Argentinian, minority groups like Haitians in Little Haiti and Miami in general tend to have strong connections and relationships with other minority groups, like, for example, the Latin American community. And
Okay.
while nothing has officially been stated, based on her last name, her accent, and general appearance, Lucia does seem to be of Latin American descent.
Hey.
Storylines of gentrification, police tension, and minority culture are likely going to be a primary focus. Maybe the reason we're seeing the
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. I don't want to pause the video too much, but like, I cannot wait for GTA 6 because we get to play as a male and a female. Like, this is gonna be interesting. A female lead in GTA 6, man. And also, GTA 6 just looks pretty. It just looks very stylistic. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you guys. GTA 6 might be the reason I might not be uploading as much as video in 2026. I'm just saying, it might be the possibility. I'm sorry, it might be the possibility.
Everglades and the Venetian Islands so close together isn't just map limitations, but it's a way of showing that gentrification, that the lower socioeconomic areas and people are being pushed out of their homes. And so part of Lucia's goal is to essentially infiltrate that world and take back what is theirs, working with other minority groups that are facing the same hardships, fighting for, as the wall art says, liberty, equality, and fraternity. But speaking of Lucia and Jason, we get to see a lot more about their relationship this time around. When Jason is starting out on his own, we see his car parked up in front of his house with
Yeah.
the Vapid logo on the back. Vapid is a car brand within the GTA world, so it's not an uncommon sight sight, but given its placement in this scene right at the start of the trailer, it also speaks of Jason's current mentality. The word vapid means to offer nothing that is stimulating or challenging. When he is spoken to, he clearly has no motivation to do actual work. His hair also
Dang.
isn't cut short as we usually see it. It's unkept and unruly. Without Lucia, he is lost. As we see him driving around, various songs play, and much like last time, they too hold specific meanings. You won't
Okay.
find hidden meaning in music anywhere, especially at our sister
Oh,
location.
come on.
And this isn't just me dreading the GTA trailer.
Alright, we
have songs
back.
like Talking to Myself by Tammy Wynette and Everybody Have Fun Tonight by Wang Chung. Both songs that focus on being alone and missing the love the other person provided you. The final song of the trailer, once Lucia and Jason are reunited, is Hot Together by the Pointer Sisters, which, as the name implies, talks about how hot they are together. It's a fiery, passionate relationship that brings life back to Jason.
Yeah, hot together, huh? In a very interesting pose, might I add.
Missing the love the other person provided you. The final song of the trailer, once Lucia and Jason are reunited, is
See?
Hot Together by the Pointer Sisters, which, as the name implies, talks about how hot they
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, but I know there are I know my fellow gamers out there are hot right now, and I'm not saying hot in love. I mean like they're hot, like they are jealous. I know. Brace yourself, okay? I know that they're by the time GTA 6 comes out, you gonna expect to see a lot of people saying, "It should have been me, not him. It's not fair." Look, I know y'all to saying you're looking at the screen right now and hearing this saying, "What, bro? What you on?" I'm telling you, something is gonna happen. I promise you. I'll put it I will put. Okay, I promise you. I swear, it's gonna happen. It's always happened. I promise.
are together. It's a
But anyways, I'm
passionate
sorry.
relationship that brings life back to Jason, which ties into what the website tells us about the story, saying that they are forced to rely on each other more than ever. However, last time, based on what we had, we suspected, despite this sense of longing and desire to stick together, there was trouble brewing in paradise. We went through the evidence presented by the internet that Jason was an undercover cop, which we ultimately decided was a
Oh, come on.
really cool idea, but the evidence just wasn't quite as clean as it first appeared. But we did predict that the twist villain was actually going to be Lucia. This
Dang.
was off of the state seal that we saw in the background of one of the shots. It showed a Garden of Eden-like scene with a snake deceiving a woman who was looking out to the horizon, just as Lucia was looking out for more in life. And the boy next to her is being eaten by a crocodile while she did nothing, like we suspect will happen with Jason. So what does this trailer change about that initial theory? Well, it seems that despite the evidence not stacking up, the idea that Jason is a cop was actually heading in the right direction.
Really?
When going to pick up Lucia from prison, the prison guard asks Jason, "I've been here before." Jason keeps his answer vague, which could be interpreted as him just trying to keep a low profile because he was a former prisoner himself. But it could also be because he's undercover and doesn't want to draw attention to himself. And I personally lean towards the latter. In another part of the trailer, we see others accusing Jason of being a Fed. Your need is full of Fed? And then we get this scene of another cop saying, "Us cops, we gotta protect each other." The important thing to note here is that this scene is not body cam footage like the stuff we saw in the first trailer.
No, it's being viewed.
Which would imply that one of our lead characters is likely present. It would feel odd if we were getting this secretive meeting scene when it doesn't involve any of our main characters.
Yeah, GTA 5 kind of shows that every time we see something, like, Dave, right? Yeah, Dave was one of the villains in GTA 5, right? And every time we see him, he's always there with one of our characters, either Trevor, either Franklin, either Michael. Heck, at times maybe even like two or all of them. So I don't really think GTA 6 is going to be like story based where we, cut to black from one scene from Lucia and cut to the main villain on some like, yeah, see, this is going to be our master plan, see? Like two different scenes. So I believe this. Dang. So homeboy's an op. well, cop.
Witnesses in some way. And although we never see the face of the man being spoken to, we do see the back of his head. And his hair is long and unkempt, much like we saw Jason sporting at the start of the trailer. If that's the case, then the "we cops" line would once again be inferring that Jason is indeed an undercover cop. Or
Yeah.
at the very least, some kind of informant. We see him wearing a blue jumpsuit that could be an alternative prison uniform. Because unlike what you see on TV, not every prison uses bright orange uniforms. So
Dang.
regardless of which it is, we're also being shown that those same police officers are definitely going to turn on Jason. And that's for two symbolic reasons. Firstly, in the scene right before we cops gotta protect each other, we see the same officers raiding a building. And as they bust in, we see that one of the officers has a large tattoo of a red monster on his shoulder.
Oh,
This
boy.
is actually a depiction of a Japanese yokai known as an
Oni.
These things are demonic beings that in folklore have the ability to shapeshift in order to deceive their victims.
Deceivers.
Sometimes offering good fortune and wealth, but ultimately it ends in the victim's own demise. This being on the arm of one of the cops who is likely working with Jason adds to this idea that he's supposed to be an informant, someone who is offered wealth and prosperity as part of a deal in order that he could get the life that Lucia wants, but ultimately it was all a trick, and they lapse on that promise, turning on Jason and causing him and Lucia to be on the run. But
Dang.
the second piece of symbolism comes from the very first scene in the trailer. Once Jason gets off the roof and we see his
Oh, come on!
physique, which I'm totally not jealous. But the second piece of symbolism comes from the very first scene in the trailer. Once Jason gets off the roof and we see his impressive physique, which I'm totally not jealous of, we also get to see his
My man, I can my man's glistening.
very impressive tattoo. It's a bird with an arrow sticking through it, which at first may just seem like a cool piece of art, but much like everything in these trailers, it too has a deeper meaning. It's a reference to a famous piece of imagery, the eagle wounded by an arrow, which originated from ancient Greek fables. It was meant to be a symbol of misery, a warning against being prideful. The eagle that was bold enough to get that close in order to be shot by an arrow has no other choice but to recognize that it is the one that contributed to its own injury. In a later scene, Jason is shown wearing a shirt with an eagle on its back. He is being depicted as the bird, a free animal.
Let freedom ring.
Pride will ultimately get in the way and lead to his own demise.
No.
In the famous rendition of the eagle wounded by an arrow made by Anne Louis Giraudet, there's another animal present, a large snake crawling towards the dying bird. As we spoke about last time with the state seal of Leonidas,
And the snake might be Lucia.
ties to being a deceiver. In the Garden of Eden, the devil transformed into a snake to deceive Eve, much like the Oni do. So, in this context, the snake is another representation of the police. Jason's hubris will cause his own downfall, but it is intrinsically tied to the snake in the grass that is the police, who are going to take him down. And the snake imagery doesn't stop there either. Inside Jason and Lucia's home, they have a pet snake, which is a symbol of how they're never quite alone. It's the two of them plus the police. They are always going to be
And it must be Jason working.
As we suggested
He's an
last
op.
time, this may
He's a
not
traitor.
be entirely down to Jason. When Jason goes to collect Lucia from prison, she is wearing a shirt that says, I went down on the Leviathan. The Leviathan is a serpent-like demon referenced in the Hebrew Bible. It is the embodiment of chaos and threatens to eat the damned, which sounds just like what we've been saying about the snake eating the wounded eagle. The police devouring Jason, the criminal. But the main point is that Lucia's shirt is practically screaming at us directly to our faces that she is in bed with the serpent. Which lines up the website is now telling us, quote, more than anything, Lucia wants the good life her mum has dreamed of. Lucia's committed to her plan, no matter what it takes, even siding with the very people trying to destroy her. However, while that would suggest we were right about Lucia's inevitable betrayal, the thing we neglected to mention last time was why. Why would Lucia betray Jason? And more importantly, why would she betray Jason by going to the cops? The people that Jason was colluding with to begin with that got them into this mess. I believe the trailer also gives us an answer for that too. And while the website makes it seem like it could just be
Maybe.
It's actually the
Maybe
complete
not.
opposite. She wants a better life for both her and someone else that's very important to her, or at least is going to be. And no, it's not Jason.
Dang.
Lucia is pregnant.
What?
That feels like a humongous swing. And there's even a shot in the trailer showing them both drinking. But hear me out. The thing that first tipped me off in this direction was this shot right here. It's a close-up of Jason rubbing Lucia's stomach. Now, we're shown a
Okay. Listen. Just because a man is feeling up a woman's stomach, right? That don't mean that don't mean that she's pregnant. I mean, now do I know what it means? I plead the fifth.
number of times in this trailer how intimate these guys are. It
Yes.
feels like they'll take any excuse to get it on. And if this was just a regular wide shot like any of the others and his hand just happened to move there, I'd have just written it off as part of that intimacy. But that's not what Rockstar did. They zoomed in. They showed it to us up close in 4K. They are showing
They
us
caught you on 4K!
action that we need to pay attention to. And the main reason that anyone rubs someone else's stomach like that in a piece of media is to symbolize that there is something of importance there. A child. Plus, with them going at it so much, I wouldn't be at all surprised if she gets pregnant midway through the story, allowing her to be drinking at the start of the game where this other shot could be from. There's also the clues we get.
Yeah, that would be more better.
Right at the start, as Jason begins driving through town, we hear a song that isn't in English, but in Haitian Creole. There's that connection coming up again. And the song is called Child Support. Initially, I just lumped this song in with all the others from that opening segment. It mentioned someone being in prison, so I assumed it was just part of Jason's I Miss You mixtape. Does anyone even know what a mixtape is these days? Does Jason even know what a mixtape is? Listening to a Spotify playlist, I don't know. But as I went through and translated more of the lyrics, I realized it was far more important. Now,
ain't no way.
Vary depending on the source, so I won't be quoting
my statement is true. My man's.
about a guy who's been put in prison.
My statement is true. Now I know all. Now my gaming brothers are really gonna be like, it should have been me, not him. It's not fair. Now I know it's definitely gonna happen if this is true.
Blames his partner for doing so because the US apparently protects women more than men like him, even though she is the one causing the problems. And as a result of the betrayal he supposedly caused that landed him in jail, she refuses to let him be part of the child's life. Sounds to me like the story we've been predicting so far, where Jason's betrayal leads to Lucia betraying him right back with the snakes, who are more willing to protect her than him. He'll be caught and sent to prison while Lucia has the baby and will reap the rewards of Jason's hard work. And
wow.
to let him be a part of their lives because of what he did. Although GTA is no stranger to multiple endings, so there's always a chance that despite the twists and turns and betrayals upon betrayals, we still get our third act climax and resolution where they both make out like bandits and live happily ever after with their new family. But I guess we'll just have to wait until 2026 to find out. In the meantime, remember, that's just a theory.
Hold on. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like the video so I know you guys enjoy. And comment down below, what do you guys think? Listen, I do believe that GTA 6 is going to have multiple endings. I mean, GTA 5 had multiple endings. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to take that away from us. I mean, we got an option A, we got an option B, we got an option C. So I wouldn't be surprised if, option A, we leave our brother in prison and Lucia just reaps the reward. I wouldn't be surprised in option B, it's like, copy paste Last of Us. You guys know what I'm talking about. And option C, which is more preferably the best one, being, the criminals live happily ever after with their child, who most likely will become the next protagonist in GTA 7 or maybe GTA 8, depending on how Rocksteady wants to go off from this. But, I don't know, like, the main one of the main protagonists being pregnant later on in the story? I mean, like, I'm not saying I'll be mad if that happened. I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying it's bad, but it's like, really? I mean, I mean, go ahead, I suppose. I mean, like, but it's like, dang, I just feel like they're probably not gonna make her playable once that happens. Once she's pregnant, I'm pretty sure like that's it. We're not gonna be able to play as her until campaign's over. But hey, man, I don't know. We'll best have to see. We'll best have to see next year. And I know I'm gonna be seeing it tenfold when I'm on my birthday. But yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that way you never miss out on another video. This is Juan Gamer 54 signing off.